I never liked clowns. Most people say that because clowns are creepy, but for me, it's always been one clown, Pennywise. Now, I'm not talking about the 2017 version with Bill Skarsgård. Instead, it was Tim Curry's performance as Pennywise that haunted me. Yeah, that one. It's hard to believe that almost everyone has forgotten about him. Or maybe forgotten isn't the right word here. More like people have moved on. Like everyone back then, I saw it way too young, which only made it worse. My parents rented it on VHS when I was about 8 years old. I remember sitting on the floor of our living room while the tape played on our bulky CRT TV. I didn't understand most of the story, but that scene where Georgie encounters and gets murdered by Pennywise, that scared the hell out of me. And that shower scene with Eddie made me afraid to go into the shower at all. I never watched it again after my first viewing, and that clown was burned into my mind afterwards. I avoided everything related to the miniseries, even the cover art that made my stomach twist. I had nightmares about him for years. However, one time I dreamt that he got teleported to a bank full of people, and he got shot by somebody with a gun. That one was funny. I didn't know that the miniseries were based on a book by Stephen King until years later, when a friend told me. I picked up a few of King's books, including it, and to be honest, I wasn't a fan. His books were full of cliches and just weren't that scary. They were overrated in my opinion. Pennywise actually being a giant interdimensional spider made me laugh. Time does do weird things to fear sometimes. By the mid-2000s, I was a teenager, and the internet had started to explode with early video sites. One of them was YouTube. Back then, it was nothing like it is now. Mostly low-quality clips, weird home videos, grainy uploads ripped from VHS tapes, and of course the memes. That was the charm. One night in 2009, I randomly remembered it. I figured I'd search for some videos, kind of face your childhood fears thing. So I typed in it. The first result was the scene of Georgie's murder, combined with the shower scene. I watched it and laughed about how cheesy it was. The makeup looked rubbery, and Tim Curry's acting was over the top. It wasn't nearly as terrifying as I remembered it, until one video stood out. The title was simple. It's Full Original Cut Rare, uploaded 3 months ago. The thumbnail was dark, but I could make out Pennywise, standing in a sewer tunnel. I was hesitant at first, but curiosity had won, and I clicked on it. The video began with static. I assumed this video was on a VHS rip because of the constant overlaying static throughout, which was annoying, but I persisted anyway. When the film got to the scene of Georgie dying, the scene continued mostly the same until the moment Pennywise attacks Georgie. Except after the attack, the camera didn't cut away. It followed Georgie's paper boat as it floated into the sewer, and the camera slowly drifted through the dark tunnels for nearly a full minute. Then it cut to a title card with a slightly droned-out theme. Hooked, I kept on watching, except this cut of the miniseries was different. First of all, the Losers Club were absent throughout the movie, as if they'd been removed entirely. I wondered who would emerge to challenge Pennywise, but as it turned out, there would be no one to fight Pennywise. Therefore, there wasn't even a storytelling. The setting, however, it was still in 1960, as I could see the cars from that era parked in the driveways or on the street. At some points in the movie, I could see people walking by dressed in the early 60s attire. But so far, it was just strange clips of Pennywise in rainy, sometimes dark settings. So far, it had been pretty boring, until one frightening scene. A kid no more than 12 was playing with a handball of some sort until it accidentally went into the gutter. The kid tries to go fetch it until Pennywise emerges with the handball in hand. Pennywise tries to lure the kid in, but the kid refuses, saying he can just get another one, and he leaves. Later, he is about to take a shower. Pennywise pops the drain cover and squeezes upwards towards the pipe like the cartoon character. The kid just stares at Pennywise, terrified as it attacks him. Just before it happens, the film then cuts away to a stock footage of clowns. I think that's what they were. They looked like they had been recorded with a home camera from the 1960s. Then I noticed something was off about some of these recordings. The clowns were in places that clowns just shouldn't be. They were all standing alone in the empty spaces, like places like the parking lots and sidewalks. It didn't look like there was a circus or a birthday party nearby. It was just odd. The final scene showed Pennywise digging through the muddy ground in what looked like a cemetery. Rain was pouring down. The costume was soaked with mud. He suddenly stopped digging before he slowly turned upward towards the camera and stared. For a long time, Pennywise just kept staring at the camera until the video degraded completely to static and the video ended. Maybe a case of generation loss? Who knows? But that was barely what I call a movie. I clicked off and went to bed after that. For anybody thinking that video was cursed or something like that, well, I'm not alone to one to believe in the supernatural, and I was completely fine after the video ended. So far nothing had happened to me, except for leaving a bit spooked and confused. I can't remember the channel that uploaded the video, because the next day when I tried watching it again, I found that the video was gone, and the channel had been terminated for apparently violating YouTube's guidelines. I can't remember why it got terminated, however. Years later, around the 2016 clown sightings, I just read a news report about the sightings, which made me stated that there were similar waves of sightings back in 1960 and then again in 1981, which made me remember that video. The footage had clearly been filmed in 1960. Maybe it was just a coincidence? Probably just some weird experimental edit someone made. I have a hunch whoever made this cut had something to do with these clown sightings, but that's far-fetched at best. Still, the timing had bothered me. Anyway, I haven't thought about that video for years, until something strange happened just now. While writing this, I opened up YouTube, and the first recommended video on my homepage had a very similar thumbnail. Pennywise was standing in the sewer tunnel, but this time the image was clear enough that I could see something that I hadn't noticed before. There was someone standing behind him in the tunnel, just a silhouette, watching. It reads, "Its original cut re-upload. Uploaded by user Pennywise the Dancing Clown. The view count, 0 views."
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.